You know that feeling, right? When you're hunting for that perfect spot for a huge moment, maybe it's your wedding or a big birthday bash or even like a really important work meeting. It can just feel so overwhelming sometimes with all the choices out there.
Oh, definitely. Finding a place that just, clicks,
Yeah,
gets the vibe right, fits everyone, doesn't break the bank.
mhm,
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
exactly. So today we're kind of doing the legwork for you on one specific place. We're doing a deep dive into Stella's venue. It's in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yep, that's the plan.
Okay.
We've got a whole bunch of source material here, stuff from their website, like FAQs, pricing, all that practical info. And also, crucially, reviews and testimonials from people who've actually used this space.
Right. And our goal here is to sift through all of that, pull out the really important bits, and get a real sense of what makes Stella's venue tick. Okay, let's start with the basics. Setting the scene. Where exactly is Stella's venue, based on what we found?
All right, so the sources are clear. It's in Louisville.
Yeah.
Specifically, it's in the Waterfront Center, right on River Road. 1348 River Road is the address given.
Waterfront Center, River Road. Okay.
One source calls it beautifully located, mentions a view of the Louisville waterfront. And another review pointed out something practical, that it was so close for friends who lives in city.
Ah, okay. So convenient for locals, too. That's good to know. Both nice and practical.
Seems like it, yeah. It suggests it's pretty accessible.
And how does Stella's present itself? Like, what's their identity according to these sources?
They aim high. They call themselves a premier event space. One source even quotes their site saying they're Louisville's favorite event space. The overall message is that they really focus on making each event special. Within that Waterfront Center building, they apparently have 2 different event spaces you can book.
2 spaces. Interesting. So maybe options depending on the size or type of event?
Exactly.
Okay, so Waterfront Center, River Road, 2 spaces, aiming high. What about the look, the feel, the vibe? What do the sources say?
Descriptions lean towards versatile and modern. Modern decor is mentioned. And one reviewer, this was interesting, called it gorgeous and said it came decorated already.
Oh, wow.
But then they immediately added that you can still decorate it however you want. So, flexible.
That's a great combo, nice as is, but you can put your own stamp on it. That's huge for event planners or, anyone planning a party.
Yeah, it suggests it can adapt. And they also mentioned it being large and spacious, allowing for different layouts.
Okay. And capacity, did they give a number?
Yep, very specific. Maximum capacity is 125 people.
125. Okay, so not enormous, but definitely a good size for, say, micro weddings, parties, receptions.
Right, big enough for a decent crowd, but maybe still feels intimate. And you can arrange it any way you need, as one source put it.
All right, so we know the where, the what, the look, the size. Now the big question, why choose Stella's? According to these sources, what are the key positives that really stand out?
Okay, this is where the reviews, especially, start painting a really positive picture. The first big theme is definitely versatility. The sources list a whole range: micro weddings, receptions, sure, but also birthday parties, kids and adults, baby showers, even memorial services or repasses.
So personal life events, got it.
And professional ones too, corporate gatherings, social celebrations, and yeah, even those more niche things like pop-up shops or yoga classes. The main point seems to be the space can handle a lot of different things. It's designed to be flexible.
That adaptability is definitely a plus. But digging through these sources, especially the reviews, there was another theme that just kept coming up again and again.
Oh, I know what you mean. The ease of planning and the service.
Exactly. It felt like almost every positive review mentioned it.
It really did. The space itself gets compliments.
Yeah.
But the people seem to be the secret sauce based on this feedback. The venue's own site says they aim to make planning stress-free and easy. They talk up their high-quality service.
And they mention an event coordinator being available, though interestingly, one source noted you don't have to hire your own separate planner.
Right. So that coordinator sounds like it's part of Stella's offering, which could be a huge help.
Definitely simplifies things.
And that connects directly to all the praise for the owner and staff.
The words they used were pretty strong, incredibly communicative, kind, took care of every detail.
Amazing working with them, very helpful, did anything to make sure things were needed. It's consistently glowing.
Someone said they went above and beyond, even for a short notice thing.
Yeah, that example stood out. And other descriptions like cooperative, understanding, flexible, professional.
One review flat out said the service made all the difference, praised the great hospitality, and that the owner truly cares about your experience.
And they even named names. Renee, the owner, got mentioned, and a staff member named Chris. That makes it feel really personal.
It really does. That story about helping with decorations and the short notice, it just screams customer focus.
It seems like, based purely on these sources, that personal touch is a massive part of their appeal, maybe even the main part for many.
Okay, so amazing service is a huge plus. What about the more tangible things? Amenities, features? What do the sources say comes with the venue?
We know the 125 capacity. The sources also say the base price includes 10 tables and 50 chairs.
Okay, so a decent starting point for furniture.
Yep. And they mention high-speed wired internet. It's also wheelchair accessible. Big tick for inclusivity there.
Logistics. Getting stuff in and out.
There's a loading dock at the back, which is handy. And they allow overnight storage for items.
Oh, that could be useful.
Yeah. Though they do state clearly the venue isn't responsible for anything left overnight. Standard disclaimer.
Makes sense. Anything else available? Maybe for extra cost.
Sound equipment, projectors, TVs, those are available, but the sources say they're for a separate rate. So AV is possible, just budget for it.
Right, so we've got the attractive stuff, the space, the stellar service, the amenities. What about, like, ticketed events? Can you sell tickets for something there?
Interestingly, yes, but with a condition. The sources say ticketed events are allowed, but Stella's needs to review and approve them first.
Ah, okay. Makes sense. Any other big requirements for the person booking?
Yes, a really important one. Liability insurance. The sources state the customer must provide their own liability insurance for the event.
That's crucial. You need to factor that cost and admin in.
Absolutely. Standard for many venues, but essential to know upfront.
Okay, let's talk time. How much time do you actually get?
The sources explain the rental time includes your setup and your cleanup. Very important. Customers and their vendors get a maximum of 6 hours just for setup, within whatever rental block they choose.
And the rental blocks are?
They have two main options, half day or full day.
How long are those?
A half day is 6 hours total. That's party times, setup, cleanup, everything. A full day is 10 hours total. Same deal includes setup and cleanup.
Right, so you need to budget your time really carefully within that 6 or 10 hours. No spillover.
Exactly. Plan accordingly.
What about the cost? How does the pricing break down?
Okay, it's tiered. Sunday through Thursday, that half day, the 6 hour block, starts at $750, according to the sources.
And a full day on a weekday?
That's $1,500 for the 10 hours, Sunther.
Weekends must be more, I assume.
Yep. Friday or Saturday, a half day, 6 hours, is $1,250. And a full day, 10 hours on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday is $2,500.
Okay. So clear pricing tiers based on day and duration. Did one source mention an hourly rate too?
It did, yeah. $175 per hour was mentioned somewhere, which suggests maybe there's flexibility for shorter things. But the main structure seems to be these half and full day packages.
Got it. Now, the rules. What can't you do at Stella's? Any big restrictions?
Several clear ones listed in the sources. Absolutely no candles, no confetti, no sparklers. Inside, anyway.
Okay. Common venue rules. What about smoking?
Not allowed inside the venue. Explicitly stated.
And noise. Being in a bigger building.
Good point. Yes, sources mention noise restrictions. They ask guests to be mindful of surroundings and neighbors. Respectful volume, basically.
Makes sense. Deliveries. Can caterers or decorators drop stuff off early?
Generally, no, according to the sources. Advanced equipment delivery isn't allowed unless you make specific prior arrangements with the venue. Best bet is to plan deliveries within your rental time.
Right. Keep it all within the paid window. And cleanup. Who handles the mess?
That falls on the customer. The sources state you have to return the space as you found it. That means cleaning the area, taking out all the trash to the designated spots. And remember, that cleanup time eats into your rental hours.
Okay, factor in cleanup time and effort. Good to know. What about food and drinks? Any rules there?
Alcohol has a specific rule. Selling it is not allowed unless you, the customer, provide a valid liquor license.
But bringing your own food? Cater?
That's allowed. Sources say outside catering is permitted, which gives you a lot of flexibility with food choices and vendors.
That's a big plus for many events. Okay, so we've laid out the location, the offerings, the costs, the rules. Let's circle back to those reviews. When you put all that feedback together, what's the big picture?
Yeah. Synthesizing it is powerful because it's not just one person's opinion. You see these themes repeating across different reviews, different types of events.
And what are those strongest recurring themes?
Well, first, the physical space itself gets consistent praise. People use words like beautiful, gorgeous, spacious, flexible. We saw quotes like, "Loved the space, space was perfect." Someone was even speechless, apparently.
Praise indeed.
Definitely. And the location, the waterfront view aspect, that also comes up as a clear positive. Incredible location, beautifully located.
So space dot check, location dot check.
Oh.
But the number one thing, if you had to pick from the reviews,
It's got to be the service. The interaction with the owner and staff. Honestly, the volume and the enthusiasm of the comments about the people involved is striking.
it really does seem like the human touch is the defining characteristic based on these sources.
That's exactly the impression you get. Those phrases we saw, incredible owner, amazing working with them, went above and beyond. They're not outliers. They seem to reflect a common experience. That idea of an owner who truly cares, as one review put it, that seems to be what elevates the experience for many, according to this feedback.
Really sets them apart, it sounds like. Did the reviews also mention practical help, like providing little things?
Yes, that came up too. That the venue provides all the small things needed, or has amenities many venues lack. It reinforces that idea of them trying to make the whole process easier, not just renting space, but offering support.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. We've done our deep dive into Stella's venue in Louisville using the FAQs, pricing, and especially those revealing reviews you shared. We've covered the location Waterfront Center on River Road, the specifics 125 capacity, the half-full day pricing, the key rules like no confetti, customer cleanup, included amenities like tables and chairs.
And, maybe most importantly, we've heard what the user experience seems to be like. The sources paint a picture of a really versatile, attractive space in a great spot. Clear offerings, practical setup. But the consistent thread, the thing that really jumps out from the reviews, is that exceptional service level. The helpfulness, the flexibility, the genuine care from the owner and staff.
It seems like while the venue itself is clearly well regarded, it's that human element, that support system provided by the people running it, that truly makes Stella stand out, according to these sources.
Which really makes you think, doesn't it? When you're looking for a venue for something important, like a wedding or a big celebration,
Yeah.
how much weight should you put on that personal touch, that amazing service, compared to just, say, the square footage or the view?
Yeah, based on what we've seen in the sources about Stella's, maybe that personal connection and support is way more crucial than we sometimes realize. Definitely something to chew on if you're planning an event.